All right, tonight we're on Tuesday night's homework, and we see that Joelle had $23 to spend on 6 notebooks. So let's go ahead and let's underline some important information. He had $23 to spend. He had 6 notebooks. After buying them, he had 11. So after buying them, he had $11. And then my question, the most important part, is how much did each notebook cost? So in order to solve this, I need to set up a 2-step equation. So I know that Joelle had a total of $23. So I can put an equal sign and I can put 23. I know that he's going to buy 6 notebooks. 6 notebooks. And we can assume that when it's said like that all 6 notebooks are going to be the same price. So I know that I have to take 6 and multiply it by how much the notebooks cost. Well, I don't know how much the notebooks cost. That's what we're trying to find. So I'm going to put n next to the 6 because I know 6 times the value of n is going to give me the cost of the notebooks. And then I know he had $11 left over. So we really need to stop and think. I know 6 times the number of notebooks plus 11 has to total the $23. You have to keep in mind whenever you're setting up an equation, especially a 2-step one, you're kind of thinking backwards on how you would solve. Because y'all know that you're going to subtract the 11 from the 23 because it's what you have left. But when you're setting up the equation, remember you need to think the inverse operation because you're going to stop. You're going to do your do and undo. Alright, so you know me, I like to draw a line down my equal sign to separate this side from this side. Remember, this side has to equal 23, just like this side. Okay, so now we need to work order of operation backwards. Remember, when we're solving for a variable, we need to make sure that we're taking everything and doing the inverse. So normally if we were solving this, we would multiply first. But since we're working backwards, we're going to subtract first. So the only way I'm going to get rid of this 11 to isolate the variable, which means get n all by itself, is I need to subtract 11 from both sides. So I see 3 minus 1 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, now I see that when I subtract 11 from both sides, I'm left with 12 on this side. Now I see that I'm still left with 6 on this side. But remember, my goal is to isolate the variable. I still have 6 attached to the variable. So I need to figure out how am I going to get rid of 6 on this side. And we ask ourselves, what does it mean when you have 6 and an n together with no seen operation? Remember, our invisible operation is multiplication. So if I'm multiplying 6 by n, the only way I'm going to isolate the variable is to divide both sides by 6. And I know 6 divided by 6 is 1, which gives me just 1n, which I already have. And then 12 divided by 6 is 2. So I know that the value of n equals 2. Okay? And it's always then a good idea to check yourself. If my equation was 6 times the number of notebooks, so let's see, 2. I said it was $2. And then plus 11, it should equal 23, but let's see. Now since I'm solving, I'm going to use order of operations. So I'm going to multiply before I add. I know that 6 times 2 is 12. And then 12 plus 11 is 23. So now that I've checked that both sides of the equation are equal, I can actually answer my question. How much did each notebook cost? Well, each notebook costs $2. Okay, you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna set up a two-step equation on 6, 7, and 8. You're gonna do your do and undo process, which I just did. Make sure that you check yourself as well, and make sure that you actually answered the question. Alright, see you in class tomorrow. Pretend I didn't just do that.